Well, good morning everybody and welcome to EPC Kids today. I hope you've had a lovely week and you're starting to really enjoy getting back to doing some of the things that we love to do. And today we are going to have a story about a man called Elisha. Now, Elisha lived a long time ago before Jesus was born, and we find his stories in the Old Testament in a book called 2 Kings. Now, Elisha was a prophet. He was a man who loved God and who was really good at listening to God, and God used him to send messages to the people. So we're going to look at two different stories today about Elisha and about how he helped people and about how God did absolutely amazing things through Elisha. Okay, so the first story we're going to learn about is about a lady who something sad had happened and her husband had died and she was left on her own with her two boys. And she came to see Elisha because she needed some help. Now, there's lots of people we can go to when we need help. We can go and speak to our teachers or our leaders or our mummies and daddies or other grown-ups like our grannies and grandads or aunties and uncles, and they can help us. So it's always good to remember that God gives us people in our lives who we can go and ask for help. Even when you're a grown-up like me, God still puts people in our lives who love him and who can help us whenever we need some help. So remember that point first of all. So let's get back to this lady. She said, Elisha, I really need some help. I don't know what to do. My husband died and he owed some people a lot of money, and they've come knocking on my door and they've said, pay us back this money or we're going to take your sons and make them work for us to pay back all the money. And this poor lady thought, oh no, what am I going to do? Because I don't want to lose my sons as well and I don't have any money to pay them back. And Elisha said, let me pray and let me think. So that's another thing to remember. Elisha's first thing to do was to pray and ask God for help and ask God what he should do. So maybe that should be what we do as well when we aren't sure what to do. So back to the story. Elisha said, after he talked to God, he said, right, tell me what you have in your house. And she said, just the normal things, not very much. Probably the only thing that's really useful is some oil. Now, what might you use oil for? We might use it for, this one we use for cooking, or sometimes when Elisha was alive, he used to use it to make lamps and lights to see, because they didn't have any light switches. And so you would have used it every day to make your bread that they would have eaten back when Elisha was alive. So he said, right, I know. Go all around your house and go all around to your friends and your neighbours and collect as many jars as you can. Lots of jars and jugs and pots, okay? And don't just collect just a few. Collect lots and lots and lots and lots. And she said, okay. So her and her two sons run off, and her sons are helping and they're collecting all the jars and jugs in, okay? And then Elisha says, right, take your oil and I want you to pour it into all the jars, okay? So take it and pour it all in. Now, what's going to happen if I pour this in? Yeah, we're going to use it all, aren't we? But something amazing happened because God did a miracle. He kept there being more and more oil in here and enough to fill every single jar and jug that they had collected. And then Elisha said, right, look at all of this oil. You can go and sell that and then you'll have money to pay the man back and you'll have money that you can then live on. So that was pretty amazing. Let's hear the second story. So with Elisha's job, he had to travel quite a lot and he went to lots of different places to talk to people and to tell them about God. And he made some friends in different places that he went. And one of the couples, they said, do you know what, Alicia? We would love for you to stay with us whenever you need to, so much that we've made you a room up the stairs for you and your friends who travel with you. Anytime you want, it's yours. You can stay there. I wonder, do you have a special bed or a special seat in someone else's house? Maybe in your nanny's house or your auntie's house or with your granda. You've got a special place that's just for you when you come to visit. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Well, that's what happened to Alicia. And he loved staying with this family, and he thought, you know what, they have been so kind to me. I think I would like to do something for them. What on earth could I do for them when they have given me a whole room for me to stay in anytime I want? And they said, well, you know what? We're really sad because it's just us. It's just the two of us, and we don't have any children. We can't have children. And Alicia said, I'm going to pray. I'm going to ask God to give you a baby. So in 1 year's time, you will have been pregnant with a great big belly, and then a baby will be born, and they'll be yours. And Alicia came back 1 year later, and this family had a little baby boy. And they loved this boy. They thought he was amazing, and they had such a great time together, and they were so thankful for Alicia coming to stay and for Alicia asking God for this miracle of this little baby. And this boy, he grew up to be a toddler, causing chaos everywhere. And then he grew up to be a boy. And we don't know exactly how old he was, but he was maybe about 4 or 5, and he was out running about in the fields with his family. And he said, Mummy, I don't feel very well. And he got up onto his mummy's knee for a little cuddle. Do you sometimes do that if you feel sick? Yeah. But do you know what happened? This boy didn't get better. He got really, really sick, and then he died. And how do you think his mummy and daddy felt? They were so sad, and they were upset, and they were crying, and they did not know what to do. So they said, oh, I don't know what to do. I need some help. So again, they've asked for help. And they said, I know. Let's go and get Alicia. He'll know what to do. So sometimes in our lives, when we don't need help, we need to ask the same person. We need to ask our grown-ups that we trust. And sometimes they ask other people as well. So that maybe if you need help, they take you to see the doctor if you're sick. Or if you've got sore teeth, they need to take you to the dentist. Or if you can't see very well, maybe they take you to get your eyes tested to check if you need glasses. There's lots of people that can help us. And God's given us all those people. So we can be thankful, and we can trust that they will help us to the best that they can. So this family, they said, right, we're going to go and get Alicia. I don't know what to do. So someone who worked for their family ran off to get Alicia and his friends. And when Alicia heard what had happened, he said, oh no. Right, put on my bag, zip my coat up as tight as I can, do my buckles up, and get my trainers on, the fastest trainers that I own, and we are going to run. We are not going to stop to say hi to anybody. We're not going to stop to have anything to eat or drink. We're not going to stop to have a sleep or a rest. We are just going to run as fast as we can to get there to help these people. So what do you think they found when they got there? Yeah, the family were really upset, and they were crying, and the mummy and daddy were really, really sad. Alicia got there and he said, I heard what happened. Where is the little boy? And they put him up in the bed. So he went upstairs, and Alicia said, right, I'm going to pray, I'm going to talk to God. again, that shows us another thing that we can do if we're sad or if we're worried or if we just don't know what to do next, is talk to God, because he's always there to listen to us, isn't he? So Alicia was talking to God, and he said, God, why did this boy die? That's not fair. You gave him as a gift to this mummy and daddy, and they loved him so much. Please will you make him better, and please will you bring him back to life again? That's quite a big thing to ask, isn't it? But you know what? I'll tell you a secret. Our God is bigger than anything. Our God is stronger than anything, and our God can do things that we think are impossible. So we can always ask God, even if we think it's a crazy thing that no one will be ever able to do. We can ask God. He might say no, but that doesn't mean he can't do it. So what do you think happened? God heard Alicia praying, and he said, right, Alicia, you give this boy a great big hug and see what happens. And as Alicia gave him a great big hug, the boy started to sneeze. And then after he sneezed 7 times, he woke up. And he ran downstairs to his mummy and daddy, and they were so happy. So wow. God did amazing things in this story through Alicia, didn't he? He gave a lady who had no money oil so she could sell it and make money, and her sons could live happily. And he gave a family a baby, and then when that baby died, he brought him back to life. Wow. It's a pretty cool God and a pretty amazing God that we know, isn't it? Right, we're going to learn a memory verse and we're going to sing a song. Thanks for listening.
Hi boys and girls. Today Ethan and I are going to teach you a memory verse. You ready, Ethan? Yeah? Okay, so the memory verse we are going to teach you is: my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. And that is found in Philippians chapter 4 verse 19. Now, Ethan, do you think you could take a word away? Yes. Go ahead. Which one? You take a word away? Okay, turn it off. Let's try, boys and girls. My God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. Philippians chapter 4 verse 19. Excellent. Ethan, do you think you could take a couple of words away this time? Yes. Okay, go for a few. Good, couple more. Ow. Keep going. Oh, he's going to go for lots this time. Okay, let's try that. My God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. Philippians chapter 4 verse 19. Okay, Ethan, go for more. Oh, boys and girls, do you think you'll be able to do it this time? I don't know, it's getting quite difficult. Okay, Ethan, we'll try that. Okay, boys and girls. My God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Jesus Christ. Philippians chapter 4 verse 19. Oh, it is? Right, Ethan, go ahead. Can you take it all away now? All of it? Yeah, let's go for it all. Away you go. Right, boys and girls, we're going to try it this time. My God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Jesus Christ. Philippians chapter 4, verse 19. So well done, boys and girls. Great try. So it was really hard, wasn't it? But basically what that means is, if you love Jesus Christ, he will help you to get everything that's important. Maybe house, food, water, things like that that's really important. He will help that to happen. So, just before we go, Ethan, let me see, my turn. Ah! Say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Wave goodbye.
Bye.